You're listening to That Teacher podcast, hosted by me, Alyssa McDonald. I'm that teacher who decided enough was enough and started an online business to fund my own 2-year maternity leave from my teaching job. This journey has been life-changing, bringing me opportunities to lead and grow in ways I never thought possible. Now, I'm on a mission to help other educators, moms, and impact-focused entrepreneurs find ways to build the online business of their dreams so they can have the time freedom and financial freedom they deserve. So grab a cup of coffee and let's bring your wildest dreams to life. All right, can we officially name 2024 the year of doing less in our online businesses? I don't know about you, but for me, 2023 felt a little like I was throwing spaghetti at the wall, which I love to do when done intentionally, but it still felt a little out of control at times, and I'm ready to get back to what feels good in terms of growth in my online business. I talked a little bit about this in the last episode. In this episode, I want to chat more about 5 totally underrated, I think, strategies for growth in your business in 2024 that will give you big results in less time. You can continue to scope out those trends on social media if you want to. You can finally start your YouTube channel. That's something I've been meaning to do for a while. Or you can try one of these 5 simple growth strategies I'm going to talk about today. And all of the growth strategies I'll talk about in this episode are centered around one central idea, and that is collaboration. Because when we come together to educate our audience, we add more diverse perspectives to a conversation, all while growing all of our audiences. Collaborations are really a huge win all around. I get a lot of questions, though, about collaborations, how to start one, who to collaborate with. So let me address some frequently asked questions about collaborations before we get into the 5 different growth strategies around collaborating. The first question I get a lot is, how do I find the right business owner to collaborate with? Finding the right collaboration is actually pretty simple. You want to look for someone in what I call a sister niche. Someone with a sister niche has a similar audience type to yours, a similar audience size to yours so that it's a win-win for both of you, and probably a different angle on the topic you talk about, or a totally different yet related topic. You can certainly team up with somebody who talks to the exact same audience in the exact same way with the exact same products, but it's often more beneficial for your audience to hear a bit of a diverse take on that topic. For example, Jamie from Basic Girl Teaches and I often team up for collaborations. She also helps teacher business owners with their marketing, but she has a very unique take on building community on Instagram. We've also worked together for a long time, and I know she knows her stuff. I trust her to deliver for my audience, and since my audience trusts me, I want to make sure that I'm collaborating with someone I trust. She has her own unique ideas about the topic. Our ideas do nicely complement one another, but they are not exactly the same. We can definitely chat about strategies that have worked and not worked for us, and we have different perspectives to offer. Another example would be to choose someone with the same audience but a totally different topic. For example, if you are a special education teacher and you're talking to special educators about their classroom, you might team up with a speech language pathologist because you have a similar audience and you're supporting the similar kinds of audiences. These are 2 examples of a perfect sister niche. Another word to the wise, I mentioned this with Jamie a little bit, but be sure to research before starting your collaboration. Be sure your core values align with the values of the person you're collaborating with. When you participate in a collaboration, your audience is trusting you to bring another voice to the conversation that is knowledgeable, ethical, and upholds values similar to your own. We want to be really careful about who we are presenting to our audience. If you haven't defined your niche yet, or you're thinking, I have no idea who a sister niche for me could be, you maybe just aren't clear enough on your niche yet, you can grab the 3-day business plan challenge that I have. I'll link it in the show notes. That is a very simple business plan, and I kind of walk you through all the steps of the business plan to give you a really good handle on your niche and your content pillars so that you know which collaborations are right for you and how to present your ideas in a proposal for a collaboration with someone else. All right, those are the FAQs. Now I want to dive into the 5 ideas for growth strategies that are simple and using collaborations. The first growth strategy I'll cover is the good old freebie swap. I love this one. It's quick and easy. It can help you get your best content in front of a new group of people with very little extra effort. All you need to do is find someone in a sister niche looking to grow their audience and offer to swap your lead magnets. You will deliver their lead magnet to your email list and they will do the same. This benefits both of your email lists because they get twice the value. It also benefits both business owners to essentially double their audience, assuming your audience is around the same size. And it benefits your audience, of course, because they get another trusted resource on a topic that they're interested in. Perfect. Win-win. Really easy one. Not much else to add there. The second strategy is podcast guest speaking. When thinking about ways to grow your online business, we often turn to social media. Social media gives us a lot of reach if we do it right. We think about how we could go viral and get in front of more people. But there are already hundreds of people hosting podcasts with thousands of listeners or even more each week to their podcasts. It's a huge missed opportunity to get in front of the right audience. It's a way better target than trying to go viral and not knowing if that audience is even the right audience for you. Sometimes we can go viral and get in front of a completely different audience than we intended to. Podcast is a much more targeted approach. And if you grab a guest spot on just 5 podcasts, you're going to, air quotes, go viral in a way more effective way because you're making connections with your new audience through a trusted source, the podcast host. That's why collaborations are so wonderful, because there's always a trusted connector in the mix. Before you reach out and pitch yourself to the perfect podcast host, though, be sure to think through specific topics you can cover on their podcast. One of my pet peeves is when someone reaches out and says, I'd love to be on your podcast, but they don't give me any ideas about what they might talk about. I don't want to have to do a lot of the thinking. I want them to tell me what they might be able to contribute. So come up with 2 to 3 potential topics, start to outline your thoughts on those topics, and develop your signature talk. If you're in my program, Teach Your Hustle University, we talk about this a lot. You only have to prepare your signature talk once, and then you can deliver it over and over again in a variety of different ways, but you never have to start from scratch. This is a great way to go because you'll be able to get on more podcasts and talk about the same thing, which is great for your credibility, your memorability, and just being able to show up and be a specialist on a particular topic. Time to dive into your signature talk and start sending out those podcast pitches. Growth strategy number 3, guest blogging. I know you're thinking, what? Did she just say guest blogging? That's totally 2014. Hear me out for a minute. This is one of those things where I like to think I'm ahead of the trends. I think blogging is going to have a major comeback in 2024, but it's going to be in a completely different way because of AI. I think authentic blogging content is going to have its day in 2024. And there's nothing more authentic than getting a guest take on your topic. So I'm going to give you a bit of a twist on the age-old guest blogging idea. Instead of just asking somebody to write a blog post on a topic and you post it on your blog and you write a blog post on their topic and they post it on their blog, instead, I'd love for you to make a connection with someone in a sister niche where you each come up with a set of questions for the other based on a topic of interest for your audience types. Ask them to send over some personal photos, give it a real authentic interview style vibe, and publish it to your blog. Keep it very 17 magazine interview style. You'll each walk away with a guest post to boost your SEO. Absolutely none of it will be generated by AI. Your audience will definitely appreciate that. And then you'll both push that post out to your email list and your socials and grow your views all around. I love this idea for 2024. Growth strategy number 4, collaborative giving. Another unique one. Hear me out. I think it would be really cool for you to team up with someone in a sister niche for a fun battle. Not like a TikTok battle or anything like that. Just a little friendly competition. Maybe identify a charity that you're both passionate about, that your community would be passionate about, brings everybody together, right? It could be related to your niche. And then you'll each pledge a certain donation to the charity based on the results of the competition. And the competition or challenge can be absolutely anything. If you remember the old ice bucket challenge, maybe do something a little less cold, and I don't know if I'd want to do that. But anyway, get creative. Maybe you have a trivia session on Instagram Live. Maybe you have a meme creation challenge or a creativity challenge like a bake-off or a cook-off, and you showcase your results. It could be the challenge is you versus the other person you're collaborating with or the other people you're collaborating with. Or it could be that you are each letting your audience test out or participate in the challenge. So it kind of depends which approach you take here. But let's say you're going to do the challenge as you versus the other people you're collaborating with. In that case, you would let both of your audiences vote for their favorites. If it was a bake-off, vote for who posted their favorite creative cupcake, and then pledge to give a certain amount for different voting milestones. But if the challenge is something your audience is participating in, like a clean your teacher desk challenge, then you could donate based on milestones for the number of people who participate. This is just going to get your audience super pumped about what you're doing. It's going to build community. It's going to grow your audience and give back to an organization you care about. Literal wins all around. Last growth strategy I have for you, number 5, co-hosting a workshop. If you have been listening to me for any length of time, you already know I love a good workshop. It is a really fun way to show up and teach and to inject cash into your business. And it gives you the space to talk about topics that you're really interested in. A few months ago, I had a workshop on how to make over your LinkedIn profile. I've also had workshops about ChatGPT. These are things that are either new or things that I don't spend a lot of time talking about in my other programs, but I'm really excited about their potential and my audience is really interested, so I host a pop-up workshop. These are perfect opportunities to collaborate because it's far more exciting and far less work when there are 2 hosts in the workshop. So team up with someone in a sister niche to provide a unique take on a trending topic. You will double your audience. If you charge for it, you'll make money in the process. And it's just another great way to build community around a topic. Show up and teach. It's really a wonderful way to grow. All right, so collaborations, if I haven't convinced you yet, are a great way to build your community in a simple way, to get your stuff in front of new people, to make a positive impact in less time. After you walk away from this podcast episode, I want you to sit down and identify 5 to 10 business owners you'd like to collaborate with this year based on similar audience types, different perspectives, similar core values. Give each other a win because maybe your audience size is about the same. How can you provide value to their audience as well? Think about that. Think about the topics you might cover, and then start making those connections. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can just start talking to them in the DMs, watching their stories, interacting with their posts on Instagram, and then reaching out and giving them the idea and seeing if they're in. Let me know what collaborations you end up doing. I would love to hear about it over on my Instagram, Alyssa A. McDonald. If you haven't grabbed that 3-day business planning challenge yet, make sure you do that. I'll put that in the show notes. That can really help you identify your signature talk topics, your content pillars, your niche, really go back to the foundations of your business before you dive into these collabs. And I will see you in the next episode for more growth ideas for your business in 2024. Thanks for listening to That Teacher Podcast. I have a lot of resources for you in the show notes. Make sure you subscribe to my Monday mixtapes and tune in here to the podcast to learn more business and marketing strategy to help grow your business to the business of your dreams so that you can have the financial wiggle room you've been hoping for. Looking forward to supporting you in your journey.